Hi guys, welcome to Knick's Knits podcast. I'm Nick, also known as Knick's on Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also join my Ravelry group at Knick's Knits podcast on Ravelry, and all the information for the podcast, show notes, and everything will be at my blog and podcast site, which is www.knicksknits.com. So hi guys, welcome to new viewers, and if you're returning, thanks for coming back. I'm still amazed by how many views I'm getting by you guys. I really appreciate it, and thank you for keeping in touch with me and just contacting me. It's great. I love talking with you guys, and it's wonderful. But we'll talk more about that later. Let's get into sorry. There we go. Let's get into the male knitter shout out. So again, guy knitters, if you're interested in joining this shout out, just put it in the guy knitters shout out thread in our Ravelry group. You'll get put in the next week, and I would like to say hello to Caleb, who is the son of Sally Jane of the Pink Hair Girl Knits podcast. Sorry. Josh, who is sort of a knitter. I was just on a VKN with him today and yesterday. We'll talk about that later, but it was great to get to know him a little more. Who's sort of a knitter on Instagram. I know Ravelry. I'm not sure about Instagram, and he has his own podcast, the Sort of a Knitter podcast. Kenneth, who's the Turbo Knitter 64, and he has his own podcast called the Turbo Knitter, or maybe the Turbo Knitters podcast, something like that. Terry, who owns Bags by Terry, which is a great bag shop, and I have one of his bags that I'll show you guys later, and his Ravelry ID is tschmidt. Jared, who is Jared Flood of brooklyntweed, like probably the most famous guy knitter out there. But yeah, James, who is Dancing Geek, who has the Dancing Geek podcast. Daren, who is djknitsalotmore, and he is in the Knitting in Circles podcast. Dennis, who is Buzzboy. John, who is knitboy1. Matthew, who is mkbug74. Dan, who is obiwanknitter, and he is co-host of the Bakery Bears podcast. Hi, Dan. John, who is menknittoo. Sean, who is the co-host of the His and Hers podcast. Matt, who is Navy 1999 and co-host of the Apple Blossom and You podcast. Mike, who is Mikey Jr. and Paul, who is Paulie81, and he has his own blog where you can find that on his Ravelry page. And Dave, our newest addition, who is from the FO and Die podcast. I don't know how I forgot you, Dave. But and he is Dave's Knits on Ravelry and knittmonkey, NITT monkey, on Instagram, and he co-hosts the FO and Die podcast with his wife Ellie. And I was just on a VKN with them too, and I'll talk more about that later. Again, so guys, if you want to get on the shout out, let me know, and we'll sort something out, and you can get on the shout out. So let's move on into whips. So all the information for my whips can be found on my Ravelry page. Again, my Ravelry is Knick's Knits, so you can find it all there. This first whip is a little interesting, and just to preface this, I didn't get a lot of knitting done this week. It's been crazy at school, and especially throughout the month of February. Don't expect too much knitting, a little more blabber. Go with it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the infamous Ray tank by Teresa Chorzepa. This for our new viewers. This tank of doom. It can speak for itself. So, funny thing about this is right now, this is the back. Oh, gee. Yeah, I have not touched this for a while. This is the back. It's like, right now it is a tangled mess. And honestly, my front is actually connected to my ball winder right now. My ball winder is close enough that I can actually show you guys this. So this is the back. It's sequiny. Hi guys, you can see me through there. But it's a nightmare to knit. nightmare. Never again. I'm nearly done. I just don't want to untangle the mess that has occurred. So here's this. In the middle of the row, like a pro. Yeah. So there's that. And I'm about to split for the armholes. Like, I could honestly get it done in an evening. I could get it done today. I really just want to order another one of these balls. But first of all, I'm on a yarn diet. But I think that this wouldn't count. Second of all, I have enough yarn to finish. It's just not a lot. So I don't know. I might do it tonight if I get the energy. Probably not. So there's that. That is in my Bags by Terry bag. Again, I was talking about Bags by Terry in the Male Knitter shout out. And it's this bag that has all of the stuff in it. And he has a great interfacing in here. It's nice and like moldable, but it also stands up by itself, which is nice. So there's that. My socks, Patons Kroy socks. So I have a hoe on this, again, as I showed you guys last week. And if you guys have any suggestions for good sock blockers, let me know. I think I talked about this, but I saw a good set on the Loopy U, because my foot is an 11-inch length, and a lot of people, they either sell a large, which is 10.5, or an 11.5, which is an extra large, and so they have that. But if you guys know any that have an 11-inch size, please post it in the thread. So there's this. So there's that, and I actually got pretty far on the sock today. I have a second one. Yeah, working on the foot right now. Gusset decreases, or the foot decreases, whatever you call them, I can't remember. So it has this nice, like, patterning on it. And this is in the Patons Kroy socks, Ragg shades, in the colorway blue striped Ragg. Everybody's made a set of these. I love them. They're great. And I ordered 2 more balls just in case if I were to run out of yarn, because they're only 177 yards per ball. And I thought I was going to run out, but the first one, which was actually too big for me, took only 1 ball. So I'm expecting this to take 1 ball, because I went down 2 sizes, and I know it's going to be like weird, like one's bigger than the other, and you're gonna like one of these socks better than the other. But I feel like once I get I know what stitches I cast on every single time. You know what I mean? Like once I get that, I'll be set to go. So there's that, and that's in my Vogue Knitting project bag. I got a Vogue Knitting Live, just says knit period, and it is in my Yarn It, which I talked about in my first podcast, I think. Love this thing. It's great. Won't break. It's wonderful. It's a great product. It has this nice little plastic bottom that you can take off, put your notions in. It's wonderful. And then it also has a strap. So if you're just on the go or you just want to take like one thing, you want to be light, compact, you can just take that, throw it on your shoulder, and you can knit and walk. Yeah, so that's that. And then my final whip, which I'm not going to show you guys this week, but I'm just going to talk about it, is my Hexapuff blanket. Yeah, it's coming along. I haven't done a Hexapuff in a while. Knitting's just been on a really low, and I'll talk about that later, but it's just been low this week. It's just been crazy week, and it's just going to get crazier, but more knitting time, I think. I'm not sure how that's going to work. FOs. I don't have any FOs this week, but I am going to show you a past FO. This really awesome hat. I think this is made by the Pearl Soho. It's not on my project page. I'll try to link it in the show notes. Don't hold me accountable if I don't. So it's a really cool hat. The reason why I have it, I gifted this to all of my uncles for Christmas, but as you can see, if you try to put it over your head, it covers up your eyes. So I'm trying to figure out a way. Oh, that's the other thing. If you guys have any suggestions on how to, like, just tighten it up, like, I'm thinking of using, like, elastic or something. I don't know. I might have to reknit one, which wouldn't be horrible, but, so let me explain this. So this is made using Patons Kroy Classic Wool, something like that. So it's a nice, like, lanolin wool on the outside, but then on the inside, I use the Zilana yarn, which I got, I think, at the first time that I went to Vogue Knitting Live. They were giving out mini skeins, and it was coming towards the end of the show, and I just, like, the guy was just like, oh, just grab, like, you know, as many as you want. So I took, like, 20, and so I was able to make the lining for all these hats, and it's made of 100%, or not 100%, but a good amount of possum fur and other things in it. And I know a lot of you might be saying, oh, the poor possums, but honestly, the possums, like, so this is from New Zealand, this stuff, and it's just, they almost, like, New Zealand's infested with them. Like, New Zealand wants to get rid of them. So I saw a statistic where it's like for every 3 humans in New Zealand, there's like 147 possums. It's something like it's crazy numbers. But yeah, really soft inside. So it keeps out the water and also keeps you warm, but then it has a really nice soft ear, and it's like an old 1970s hat. It's great. I really want to make one for myself, but my just gauge was a little off. Again, so if you guys know any suggestions on how I could just, like, cinch it in, that would be great. Because they don't care how it looks, really. They just like the practicality of it. I made 4 of these for my uncles, because this is their high school colors. Cold Spring Harbor High School out on Long Island. So, yeah, if you guys know any ways of just cinching that up, that'd be great. Oh shoot, did I not? 1 second. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So, stash enhancement. On a yarn diet, I was gonna show you, actually, you know what, let me just grab that too while I'm up, sorry. I don't know if I might have shown this to you guys, and if I am, sorry. Whoops. Sorry, guys. So this is Riften. Yeah, I don't think I showed this to you guys. Riften by Jill Draper Makes. She had this at Vogue Knitting Live, and I was sort of eyeing it, and it is wonderful. I love this yarn. This was like one of my last purchases before the yarn diet. So it's a mix of dyed and undyed fibers, and I think this colorway is called Winter, if I'm right. Doesn't say. I think it's Winter, but it's this beautiful, like, color block gradient, and they say it's a fingering, but I could honestly see this being a heavy, I don't know. I feel it as more, but that's just me. Yeah. So I got it in this colorway and in the autumn colorway, which is gorgeous. Not true to color. Try to see on her Etsy shop. She might have some left. This was limited edition, so whatever's left in her shop, and then it's gone. So that's why I got it, because I really fell in love with it. But, you know, I don't know. There was one color when I saw it at Vogue Knitting Live that was sort of throwing me off from it. I wasn't hugely in love with it. So there's that. And that should be on my stash page. I have to update that. And then I'll transition into a new segment that I'm going to do, which is donation thank yous. So thank you to Dropout Knits, who is Kelly, who's from Hamilton, New Jersey, which is right nearby me. So she left this yarn at my local yarn shop, which is Pins and Needles. Great yarn shop. If you're ever in the area, check it out. It's a great spot. She vended at Vogue Knitting Live, but I'll just show you a couple of these skeins. But Kelly gave me some yarn for the for my club that I'm doing at school, and I was like a little surprised when I opened this. I was like, this is like nice yarn. Like, it's not just a little, like, you know, skein of worsted, which I am fine with. This is Madelinetosh Light, Merino Light, in the Flora, I think, or Aura colorway. Gorgeous blue, bluish gray. It's gorgeous. I love this yarn. But I don't know about it. I don't know. It's not a beginner yarn. I think you can understand where I'm coming from. So she put a couple of mini skeins in there. So Kelly, if you're watching, I might have to confiscate this from my stash. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, guys. So this is, and then she also gave me some Malabrigo Rios, which I'm like, you're pampering these kids. But in the Indiasita colorway, beautiful. And finally this. This is just a Barocco yarn. Flicker is the name. It's more bulky. What I just think I'm going to do is I'm going to put together like kits for all the kids, and then I'm just going to have them choose. So let me explain this in a little more depth. So basically, yes, this is going right into my upcoming section, which I'm going to be talking about the club primarily for this podcast. So I plan to do a hat, because what's hard is for me to keep the kids' attention, they're going to want to do a project that they can like finish and wear. They're not going to just want to do a square, you know what I mean? So I'm going to have them do hats, and I'm gonna knit all the ribbing. I know I'm crazy. I have to figure out how many kids are gonna be in this, but I'm gonna knit the ribbing, and then we're gonna learn the knit stitch on the body of the hat. So there's that. Yeah, so it should be interesting. I'm still waiting for approval. It's a little ridiculous. I turned in my forms beginning of mid-January, let's say, and I'm still waiting on approval, which I think is a little ridiculous. I was told that I'm allowed to write an email and send it out to the school, so I'm basically allowed to say, sign up for my club, but we're not going to have a meeting yet because student council can't vote. So there's that. So some of the plans I have for the club is that I plan to teach them how to knit and purl this year. I want to get them to a good spot with knitting. Actually, I would like to get them to socks this year, which I think is very possible. If I start mid this month, if not towards the end, it does give me only about 2 months, so only about 6 meetings, but I think I can teach them how to do socks by then. I think so. Because by the end of February, or hopefully I can start by February. By the end of February, I want them to be knit and purl fluent. So not have to ask me questions about the knit and the purl. That's my first job. Second job is that I want to then work on a project. So I'm going to each ask them, what do you want to do? What do you want to make? And I'm going to bring in all the bin of yarn that all you guys donate to me. And I'm just going to tell them, choose. Pick which one you want. So we're going to start with the hat. They're going to learn the knit stitch with that. Then I'm thinking I'm going to do a simple, probably just a pot holder and, a coaster. That's easy. We're going to learn the purl stitch on that. They're going to become completely confident. Then we're going to move on to, they get to choose whatever they want. They want to do an infinity scarf? Great. They want to do whatever they want? That's fine. And I'm going to let them use my needle stash, but I'm going to keep track of that because I do not want stuff leaving me. So there's that. And then, so I hope to have them like project fluent, so that if they were to go on Ravelry, they know what they can do, and they could basically say, I want to make this. Type in on Ravelry what they want to make, and then see what options come up, and then see and then it will basically be freeform from there, because I then just want to sort of, because I'm also going to be teaching sewing in tandem, so if they want to learn to sew, I'll teach them how to sew. But I think I want to get them knit and purl fluent first, and then it will just become whatever they want to do. So I think that seems right. I would hope to have that all done before we go off to spring break, which is in March. The chances of that are slim, that that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, just because I'm still waiting on approval. But by the end of April, by the latest, I want them to be fluent in the knit and purl stitch. Because then in October, the big thing that I want to do with them is I want to take them up to Rhinebeck to experience how wool is made and to see all the indie dyers, stuff like that. So I'm going to, probably over the summer, I think I might have talked about this, probably over the summer I'm going to start a Kickstarter for the thing, because I have to get them. I would like to do overnight. I might have to just do a day trip because it's going to be a hassle to do overnight, but I would like to do overnight, so we'll see. So I need to have a bus for them. I would like to give them each $50 to spend, so I have to raise that money. And then I would like to do, you know, hotel accommodations and then pay for the bus across all of it. So it's going to be a lot, but I can trust you guys that if you guys, you know, just give a couple dollars when I open up the Kickstarter, that'd be wonderful. And more details will come. I'll, you know, do stuff like for the prizes, you know, maybe like a picture, you know, of all of us, and we'll all get all the kids to sign it or something along the lines of that. Yeah, so as I'm finishing up this thing about the club, if you guys are interested in donating to the club, or you have yarn left over of 100% wool, or, you know, I'll take a 50-50 like wool acrylic if you have it. I just won't take 100% acrylic. Not happening. So if you guys have any wool or any needles left over that you do not want, PM me. Let me know. And we can make a deal. I know I have a lot of people sending me stuff, which is I'm so happy about. So just let me know. Just let me know if there's anything that you can spare. And yeah, so sorry that this is a little weird podcast. It's a little quick today. Yeah, again, so any yarn, anything that you have, send it over. Even notions. I'll take whatever knitting supplies that you have. Let's put it that way. Any knitting supplies that you have, anything, send it over my way. I would love it. I can't afford to buy yarn for all these kids, and the school won't give me a dime. The school will not give me any money to buy supplies, which is kind of sad, because we would have to raise money to get supplies, and I can't come in on the first meeting with no yarn. I just can't, because I have to keep this thing moving if I want to get us to the point where they would appreciate Rhinebeck. But I think we can raise enough money if they knit some things that they would like to sell. I can give them a portion. I'll take a portion for the yarn, and then a portion will go to our donation bin for the thing. So, and I might put some of that stuff up on an Etsy shop. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. Some stuff from some kid knitters. Let me know. So, Cal. So again, we have the Spring into Socks Cal just going on. That is going to go on with the Bakery Bears. We're co-hosting, I guess you could say, Cal. And so if you're interested in joining, Cast On is on March 1st. Cast Off is April 31st, or obviously in between. And so I'm going to go with what Kay said, and we're going to do, well, we'll talk about rules later. But if you're just post like any favorite sock knitting needles, and the Cal is called Spring into Socks. So if you have any favorite sock knitting needles, favorite sock yarn, it would be just post it in the chatter thread, Spring into Socks Cal chatter thread in the Ravelry group, and yeah, let's get some chatter going. So there's that. And if you are an indie dyer or someone who has a surplus of anything and would like to donate, I'll totally promote your shop if you will donate a prize. It would be great if I could get something other than what I usually have. I will buy something for the prizes, but It'd be nice to get something like, because I'm somebody where I'm going to buy, like, I only know a certain amount of brands. Don't we all? We all only know, like, a certain amount of shops. We don't know every single knitting shop and Etsy thing out there. So, you know, I would like to introduce myself and the viewers to something that I don't know about. So if you're interested in a bag, stitch markers, anything you'd like to donate for the cow, that would be wonderful. I would love that. Yeah, so that's about it. Go into the blabber section if you guys aren't interested in listening to me go on and on about random things. Then I'll see you guys next week, and yeah, happy knitting, and bye. But if you guys did stick around, which you did if you're watching right now, blabber, weather. Weather. More snow. Well, no, it's not more snow. It's icy. You're supposed to get more sleet this week. It's just, I'm done. And I cannot imagine in my brain what it feels like to be warm. I just cannot fathom it. What does it feel like to be, like, hot? No. What does it feel like to be hot? Where you're, like, natural hot when you're outside and you're warm. Like, I just don't feel that. I can't imagine feeling it. Yeah. And Punxsutawney Phil. Not happy with you, Punxsutawney. Not happy. That he said 6 more weeks of winter. I'm going to go with it. You know, I'm a knitter. I enjoy knitting in the winter. But also, it's just too cold. It's been a harsh winter, and it's not even over yet. And I'm done. Other things that are going on. School is school. It's picking up. I have exams in the first week of March, so, you know, we're coming down towards spring break, and I just need to raise up some grades and get moving on that, and that's why I haven't been knitting as often. But also, that's because, another reason why not is because of my school musical, which is Hairspray. And we just, you know, starting next Friday all the way through next Monday, it's just going to be a crazy schedule for me, because it's basically being at rehearsal until 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you know, every single night of the week. And it's a lot. And, you know, I just, you know, I'd rather be knitting. You know, no, that's not true. I love the play. The play is, like, so much fun. You know, I'm wearing a lime green suit and a pink shirt with this, like, brown striped bow tie. It's very 60s. But, you know, I don't know. I feel like I would much rather, you know, I would just, instead of sitting in the theater every single day when I'm not needed, because I don't have to be on stage every single second of the play, obviously, and just being there when I'm not needed, and just, like, you know, it's a good point to get my homework done, but it's just, like, the other day, I didn't knit at all during the day. Not once. Which is, like, that's really rare for me. It's really rare for me not to knit one, at least a little bit. So, you know, I'm getting worn out, and I need spring break to come. So, there's that. But Hairspray's going great. I'm really excited for Hairspray. If I can keep my energy to go to Hairspray, that'd be good. Anything else I forgot? VKN. I spent a great amount of time with, Sort of a Knitter, who's Josh, who I mentioned, and Dave, who's Dave and, oh no, starts with an E. How could I forget your name? Oh god, it's right on the tip. You know, I'm gonna have to look it up. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I had a VKN with hosted by the FO and Die people, which was great. Ellie. There we go. Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Dave. Sorry I forgot your name, Ellie. I'm, like, really sorry. It's just been a long week. So yeah, so I spent a VKN with those and a bunch of other knitters that I can't remember the name of, but, yeah, I had a great time. You know, it's stuff like that. It's stuff like that. You know, I've been been a little bit down in the dumps lately with the weather and school, and it's just a lot. So, you know, being able to go on a VKN, being in my home, and being able to just talk with knitters, you know, about knitting. It's wonderful. And this podcast is great too, but, you know, it's just like to actually see people and see their response to things, it's wonderful. I love it. So, any podcasters out there who hold VKNs, I'm considering holding a VKN sometime soon, just contact me. Let me know. And I would love to join your VKN. I just love doing that. It's so much fun. Just trying to think if there's anything else. Sorry it's been a weird podcast. I might be moving a bit faster than usual. Just a little tired. Trying to see if I forgot anything. Yeah, Arn and Carlos, the guys that I talked about in the first episode, they just released a new yarn with Regia, or as Kristen from Vulenvine likes to say it, Regia. Hi, Kristen. Yeah, they came out with a new yarn, but it's not, like, I can't find it in an online shop in the US. So I'm this close to buying it from some Norwegian shop. But if you guys know of any US shops, or if you guys bought a surplus and you're destashing, obviously you wouldn't be destashing it because it's so new. But if you guys know of a US shop that has it, or online shop, let me know, because I really want to try it out. It's really cool because they designed the self-striping or the self-patterning to look like Norwegian patterns. So it's really cool. Really cool yarn. Yeah, it's called the Regia, or Regia, or Regia, as Kristen likes to call it, line of Regia design line. Arn and Carlos. I think it's just called, if you just type that into Google, that's what shows up. But I don't mind buying it. It's only €8.50, which is like almost $10, which is not bad at all for one skein of sock yarn. That's actually quite good, of self-patterning. And considering how durable Regia is. But the shipping costs are probably going to be immense. And so, if you guys know of any US shops, again, that have it, let me know. Yeah, so I think that's it. My last purchase is coming in. My lollipop update. I was able to get 2 balls. I commissioned my brother to help me, so we almost always get 2 balls of lollipop when there's an update, which is nice. Yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I'm forgetting. Yeah. So thanks, guys, for checking it out. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything, let me know. Make sure you check out the blog. Join the group, and let me know what you think. Anything that I can improve upon? Now, before saying that, I should have said, watch the second podcast, or watch the first podcast, where I'm a little bit more sane, and then judge me on how it is. But, you know, lighting, sound, anything, just let me know. Yeah, and thanks, guys, for, you know, checking everything out, and, just trying to think, am I sure that I don't have anything else? It's a quick one. I think that's it. Oh! Final thing, guys. So, actually, 2 final things. I forgot to show this to you guys when I first got it at VKL, because it was in this separate bag. But I got 3 skeins of yarn from Harrisville Designs, located in New Hampshire. And they have a really cool yarn. It's called Watershed. And basically what it is, yeah, this is not true to color, but basically what it is they take all different colors of fiber, and majority orange, this is orange, majority orange, and they throw it all into the machine. So if you go out in the natural light, you can see like different purples, greens, blues, like different colors, but it's not so obvious that it's like, you know, like a little crazy. Great yarn. Watershed, Harrisville Designs, All American Made. Yeah, it's a great yarn. 110 yards of a worsted. Yeah, and I want to get a sweater quantity of this, but and then I have this in the purple. Did I show this to you guys? I don't think I showed this to you guys. I hope I didn't show this to you guys. But if you did, here it is again. And finally, I got a brown, which I fell in love with. I want to do a sweater out of this. My mom said it wasn't exactly a flattering color, but I actually like the way it looks. It's irregular from what I normally wear. So there's that. And finally, something that I'm just obsessing over this week. Girl Scout cookies. I actually haven't gotten many this year. I haven't gotten many this year because of I just haven't been around quite a lot this. You know, I've just been always at school, and so I haven't seen a lot of Girl Scout troops. And the place where I normally get them is I'm never over that way. So this is for those of you who don't know what Girl Scout cookies are, they're basically just cookies that the Girl Scouts sell to benefit like their troop, to basically fund their troops' activities. But I always found it interesting because they don't make the cookies. The cookies are all like factory made. So I was just talking with my stepdad today. I would like to see how much money the cookie manufacturer makes, and then how much the Girl Scout makes, like how much of a cut, because it's $4 a box. So I'm wondering how much they make, but it's interesting. This is the peanut butter sandwich. I'll show it up. The girls on it. So. So good. It's basically just a cookie, like a peanut butter cookie, with peanut butter, and then a cookie. Sorry for those of you who are peanut allergic, but oh, and for those of you who don't know what a virtual knit night is, it's a VKN equals virtual knit night. Yeah, virtual knit night. It's a lot of fun. You get to talk to people. It's like being in a yarn shop, except at night and just hanging out. It's fun. So thanks guys for checking out the podcast. Sorry if, again, sorry. It's a weird podcast this week. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more back on track. Hopefully I get approval, next week. Yeah. So again, donations. If you guys have anything, let me know. And yeah. So thanks for checking out the show. I will see you guys next week. Keep in touch. Make sure to go on the blog. And yeah. Bye. Have a great week, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, Centennial.